Thank you, Bante. You too, and good evening, everyone. Welcome once again to MSBS Weekly Guided Meditation by Phra Goh. Today is the 11th of January 2022. We would like to wish everyone a Happy New Year. We are very grateful to have with us Bante Adhibalo, popularly known as Phra Goh. Bante was born on July 14, 1985 and was ordained under the Thai Dhamma sect at Santi Forest Monastery, Johor, 2008. Bante is currently the religious advisor to Buddhist Youth Network and has been conducting regularly MSBS Tuesday guided meditation since 2000. This week, we are starting a new journey. It's very conducive and is for the start of the new year and a very good blessing for us to have this sutta called the Mangala Sutta. Bante will be leading the homage to the Buddha and taking our 5 precepts from Buddhists. Now let's compose our minds, put our palms together and welcome Bante. Over to you, Bante.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Terence, for the introduction. Okay, so we can give 3 bows to the Buddha. So the past many sessions, I was still quite new to Zoom, so I didn't know that bowing can be not so in a restricted posture. So if you are in a restricted area, you can just put your palms together and just bow 3 times. Yeah. Okay, so we start with the homage. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. And the 3 refuges. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. And the 5 precepts. Pāṇātipada vēramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Adinādāna vēramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Kāmesu micchācārā vēramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Musāvādā vēramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Surameraya majjapamadatthāna vēramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, and good evening and Happy New Year again to everyone. And tonight we are starting this first lesson of the year. Yeah, first lesson and a new topic. So actually this topic is suggested from last year's session. Yeah, the most recent session suggested by Rachel. Rachel is not here. So, so we are going to go through this Mangala Sutta. So it is the discourse on blessings. So again, like for chanting, no, there are various kinds of chants. So Mangala Sutta is one of the chants that's popular in the Theravada tradition. So again, chants have many kinds. One is a devotional kind, some are more for confession or forgiveness, and some are teaching, some instructions. So Mangala Sutta would fall into the category of teaching, teaching and instructions. So to really sort of receive these blessings, I think it's good to know the teaching, not just merely chant. Okay, next. Okay, so the sutta, like most sutta, will begin with this 𝙎𝙖𝙣𝙖𝙑𝙑𝙖. So that is the trademark of Venerable Ananda. So Venerable Ananda is the disciple and the cousin of the Buddha, foremost in memory, and he is responsible for reciting all the Buddhist teachings, all the suttas. So all the Buddhist discourses will start off with this 𝙎𝙖𝙣𝙖𝙑𝙑𝙖, from what has been heard by Venerable Ananda. So he will start off with I have heard, or thus have I heard. At one time, the Blessed One, referring to the Buddha, was staying in Savatthi at Jeta's grove, Anathapindika's park. So this Anathapindika is a rich merchant. He bought the entire park. I'm not sure how true the story. He and there was like a prince that owned the park. So in order to purchase this land, is it a prince or a king? I'm not sure. So this royal person who owned the park made a remark: if you want to buy this piece of land, you must fill up this entire surface with gold. So that's what Anathapindika did. He laid down these gold tiles on every square inch of his. Okay, thanks Terence, Prince Jeta. Okay, so this Anathapindika laid down these gold tiles. For however much gold he has, he just laid and covered the surface. Then the prince, seeing this, then he can't take back his word. Maybe he also wants the gold, so he said, "Okay, the land is yours, except for the trees. The trees is not being covered with the gold, so the land is yours." So okay, that's fine. So he bought the land, this Jetavana, this grove, or this Jetavana park, and then he started to build the monastery. So there's like a proper monastery for the Buddha and his disciples. So that is a very popular training place. Before this monastery was built, the monks doesn't have any monastery. No monastery. So they stayed like a wanderer, either inside a cave, under the tree, or I'm not sure, before this monastery, did they build any kutis? It's like a small hut, right? So, so these are possible venues where the monks can stay. And yeah, so it is only after this then the Buddha stayed quite a number of rains retreat. He stayed there for a long time also, and he taught to many disciples, not just humans but also heavenly beings. So when he was more like stable, more stationary, he had like a regular kind of routine, regular timetable. Yeah, so it is believed that he slept maybe for 1 or 2 hours only. Yeah, the Buddha slept for 1 or 2 hours. The rest of the day busy teaching. Yeah, so sometimes like in the, I'm not sure, is it the midnight or something, then he started to teach these devas. Yeah, it is around that time the devas like to come down in the dark and receive teachings from him. So in the daytime he taught humans, and midnight around that time, yeah, then he started to teach these heavenly beings. So next slide. Okay, so there's this, the audience is for this particular sutta is Deva. Yeah, so then a certain Devata or heavenly being in the far extreme of the night, yeah, so very late at night, her extreme radiance, so it's a female deity, her extreme radiance lighting up the entire of Jeta's grove, approached the Blessed One. So imagine last time in ancient days, no street lamp, no light pollution, very dark, and once they appear, illuminate the entire Jeta's grove. Okay, next. So when they approach, then they bowed down, right? On approaching, having bowed down to the Blessed One, she stood to one side. As she was standing there, she addressed a verse to the Blessed One. Yeah, so they have their protocols also. Okay, next. Okay, so there's this question, a burning question. So even the heavenly beings do not know what is blessing, or at least some heavenly beings do not know what is blessing. So when we go to a temple and pray and ask for blessings from various heavenly beings, sometimes they may not know what is this blessing, what are you doing, what are you praying. So this is a question. Many devas and human beings give thought to good fortune, desiring well-being. Tell then the highest good blessing. So the deva wanted to know what is highest blessing, because devas have very, very long lifespan. Yeah, they have such a long lifespan. I'm not sure whether it's in the suttas or even post-canonical manual. They tell you one heavenly day is equals to 50 human years. So this lowest of the heavenly realm can live for 500 heavenly years. So you do your multiplication. So that's the whole lowest of the heavenly realm. So we talk about 31 realms of existence. So the higher the realm, the higher the lifespan. Yeah, so these beings stay for so long. So sometimes they look at the human beings, there are all kinds of problems, all kinds of emotion, and they pray and pray and pray. Then some of them will help, some of them will intervene. Because humans so frail, they die so fast. Then they are wondering, what is this highest blessing? What is the best kind of thing for humans or even for heavenly beings? Okay, so the normally, right, if you look at the picture, these are more like the ritualistic kind of blessings, customs and practices, right? So like the sprinkling of holy water, very common. Sometimes even in the commentaries, they will mention the Buddha's disciple may sprinkle the holy water, like Venerable Ananda, like we discussed in the Ratana Sutta last year, and sprinkled holy water to sort of try to clear the famine or the plague. And the next few pictures, right, things like tattooing at the bottom right. So there's more like the Thai Siam Buddhism, Siam culture, more like folk religious practice. the Buddha and his disciples, I don't believe they tattoo themselves. So this is more of cultural practice. Yeah? Okay, and the belief, right, if I'm not wrong, was started in Cambodia. And those days, I'm not sure when was it, historically, there was lots of wars. Yeah, lots of wars. So sometimes the soldiers, in order to boost their morale, then they believe that tattooing scriptures into their body, or sometimes even certain deities or certain divine figures, can make them immune to injury. So it's like a protection. So I do not know whether it works or it doesn't work. So whatever it is, it's a good morale booster for the soldiers, and they tattoo it and they go to war. Yeah? So it's a popular culture up to today. So sometimes you may find these practices. Some people even get it tattooed in their bodies. And yeah, so for scripture-wise, for Buddhism, we know Buddhism initially started as an oral tradition. That means there isn't any writing until like 400 to 500 years later after the Buddha's time. It is only in the fourth Buddhist council in Sri Lanka that the monks decided to write, to put the teachings into writing. Initially, they still wanted to have an oral tradition, but at that point of time, the condition was in Sri Lanka, there was lots of famine or maybe wars, civil wars. Then a lot of the old monks start to die off, and they're afraid that if all the reciting monks and the memorizing monks, if they all die, then that's the end of Buddhism. So to play safe, that's how they write down the scripture. So this is for the Theravada canon. Yeah, the fourth Buddhist council. Yeah, so that's how we have writing. Then the yantras, the practice of yantras, like what they tattoo on the body, the scriptures, they are actually, the concept comes from Hinduism. Yeah? The Vedic reciters last time, they also don't write their scriptures. Initially, they don't write their scriptures, so they memorize by heart all the teaching. Once in a while, they may, even for anybody that recites long scripture, they might put this mind map. They write maybe the first word of every paragraph, every stanza, and when they look at that diagram, then they can know the entire scripture. So initially that's supposed to be a mind map to memorize the scripture. And over time, then they include astrology and whatever kinds of charms and protection, and the Buddhists copied over. The Buddhists copied over, and they start to tattoo on the body. Okay, and so these are folk practices. Yeah? And if you look at amulets, the same thing. So amulets are statues, are images, many statues, and they have all kinds of these types of statues or these amulets. Some of them are the Buddhist image, some of them are monks' image, some of them are different deities, their image. So again, it depends on the wearer. What's the intention of having these amulets? Is it to recollect the triple gem, or you wear it to, again, for more mundane purposes, for good fortune, or for physical protection, whatever it is. So that's why these deva also want to know, because these humans pray for all kinds of things. So they want to know what is the Buddha's position, what is this blessing about, right? So once we know what is this, the Buddhist kind of blessing, then we can sort of direct our energy, our time, our energy into pursuing the Buddhist kind of blessing. Yeah, there are many kinds of blessing, like let's see, how many of you here want to strike rich? Okay, yeah, we get real, so strike rich. And who wants, let's say, longevity? The one longevity, okay. We're scared of hospital bill. Okay, who wants this, let's say, beauty? Okay, how about good relations? Okay, one good relations. Okay, so now people want different things, and all the things we mentioned before have their causes, cause and effect, right? So does praying or does obtaining these items make you have all these things? In the Buddhist perspective. And does praying make you rich, or does praying make you suddenly friendly all of a sudden? Or does having any performing all these ritual? Yeah? Okay, so let's go through these teachings and the Buddha's teachings, and let's see what the Buddha say about all this blessing. Yeah? Okay, next. Okay, so the Buddha gave an answer. So this is the reply to the Devata. Okay, the first one, first instruction, or the first kind of blessing: not consorting with fools, consorting with the wise, paying homage to those who deserve homage. This is the highest blessing. Okay, so this starting of the entire blessing. So actually there are total 38 blessings. So I will list them towards the end. I'm not sure how many lessons you will take, but total there are 38 kinds of blessings. So down here there's a few already, I think at least 3. Not consulting the fools, that is one. Right, that means we talked about it last year in the Sigalovada Sutta, and of course other series of teachings. Very important. Once you love mingling with people with bad habits, with unwholesome states of mind or states of behaviors, then we will get easily influenced to do these unwholesome kinds of bad habits. Yeah, so not associating with these unwholesome people. And the next one is associating with the wise. People who are virtuous, people who are wholesome. So basically, choose your friends wisely. Very important. Yeah, so nowadays, the friends are all on Zoom. Last time we have physical networking or physical interaction, so then we can get to know people better. All right, and paying homage to those who deserve homage. All right, so this is got to do with intention. What is your goal in life? Your view. If let's say the people you think deserve attention are, let's say, gang leaders or mafias, then that shows your direction is not in the right track. But if you if your intention is to improve your spirituality, then naturally one will look towards spiritual teachers, right? And the Buddha mentioned, right, the spiritual friend or spiritual mentor is the whole of the holy life. Right, so these first 3 instructions is the starting point to lay the foundation. Right? So a person, if let's say they are inaccessible to spiritual kind of people or wholesome people, then very hard to find happiness. So this is the root, the foundation for happiness. First you need this peer pressure. I mean peer kind of friends. So very important. Huh? Okay, next. Sorry, go to the previous one. Previous. We can talk about the pictures. Yeah. So, so like there's this viral meme talking about the goals, what people want in a spiritual fair. If let's say there's a booth for seeing for past life or seeing the future, people are very interested. Right, let's say people go temple and pray, they want to know about the future, they want to know about how it affects them, their fortune. Those will attract people. But we have, let's say, a meditation class, not many people attend, not many people interested. Right, so if you are joining this class now, it means you have some blessing, you're quite blessed. It means at least your goal or intention is on the spiritual or the right spiritual track, not tainted so much with personal kind of greed. Okay, next. All right, then okay, it's 9 o'clock, so I don't want to talk too much. We have many lessons ahead. So we cover the most important one first. Total there are 38. So we only started 3. Some introduction and 3 of these blessings. Okay, so we open the floor for Q&A. Anyone wants to ask questions or share any opinions, you may do so. All okay? So it's more like a recap of last year's series of talks. So it's summarized into these 3 blessings. So by reciting and chanting alone, let's say without knowing the meaning, won't help you. So sometimes people go to monks, they want to receive blessing. So we are actually chanting this teaching. We chant this Mangala Sutta, Mangala Parita. Then we chant in the Pali language. Then the devotee have no idea what we are chanting. Then they just listen. Okay. After listening, they believe it will increase their luck by manifold. So this is the common trend now. So that's not what it's meant to be. It is a bit like a person, let's say, who is sick. They want to see a doctor. So the doctor give a prescription and say, okay, if you are sick, you need to take this tablet, 2 tablets, 3 times a day. So he give instruction. Then, so this patient, instead of following the instruction, they go back and chant the instruction. Go back and chant. And worse still, the instruction is in a language they don't understand. So they chant 2 tablets 3 times a day, don't know what language, then they just chant and chant and chant. So this is what's happening, right, for most people. So as you can see from the translation, this is actually instruction. You need to find good company, avoid the unwholesome company, and you need to, like what we did, take refuge in the triple gems. So that is paying refuge, to those who are worthy. All right. nobody has question, yeah, because very few points. Okay, yeah, Terence.
Bhante, can I ask one related to dana?
Okay.
Okay, in some Buddhists believe that when we offer dana to the sangha, it's better that we offer food to them using our own hand instead of just online bank in. And is there any difference?
Yeah, depends on case by case basis. Each community, what's their intention? What's their rules? What kind of rules they follow? Different temple have different house rules or interpretation of the Vinaya. In the past, it's easier to receive by hand. Nowadays, there's COVID, this regulation. Some people maybe not so convenient to have these meeting up physically and passing the to the monks by hand. Some places they don't allow, even in the Palilai temple, they don't really allow. So the devotees, they drop the food at the table at a counter outside. They can't even pass to the monks personally. So we have like a few rostered helpers that offer the food to the monks. Yeah, so that's what we practice in Palilai temple. So different places have different practices. So the whole idea is when the devotee, when they want to practice the dana, practice their charity or generosity, the main thing is their intention. Yeah, the main thing is the intention. So as long as the intention is, again, various degrees of intention, we can talk about it more next time. So there's a particular sutta, I think Venerable Sariputta talked about this in the Dana Sutta. Different people give with different intentions. Some people give and expect return. Like a lot of people give, okay, I give this monk really, will make me rich next time. Improve my business. So they do this with this intention. So there is some merit, but it's diluted. There's some good act, but also the greed is the unwholesome intention. So they're creating both kinds of karma. So of course, along the way, if you do cultivate and practice more, the intention gets purer and purer. Then when you carry out this action, then it's more meritorious. Oh yes, Karina. Yeah.
Hi, Bhante. I have a question for about Dana also. So I think intention is very important. That I like when we offer food, right, which is we put on the table, that we did not put in the butt of the monk. So now I realize, because last 2 days I thought about this question also. The secondly is for, I can't remember my question. Dana, right? I heard from one of the Bhante mentioned also that we have to do it regularly. So my question, this also one of my question is like, if I were to offer dana, sometimes I may have a problem. Is like, I'm not sure what does this Sangha they want, what kind of food, because like in the morning, right, they went to the market. So happened that I go there, or I purposely make a trip that I just want to make an offer. So I have this thought, it's like, what are the good food that I can provide to the Sangha, so that when they receive, then hopefully that kind of thoughts. So sometimes I might think of like, maybe the weather recently is raining, so I will think of like to buy some of the herbs or those things that to do an offering. Yeah. So is that the thoughts that count? Because I encounter this is like after make a dana, right, or offering, I felt very happy. That's one thing. I think maybe the intention is correct. The other way is like when I first first time I recall that I did a dana, which is I offer when some of the Dharma friends, they say buy something, so I offer, I think in Malaysia, ringgit, I think maybe $500. I just say, okay, no, you want to buy this and that. I just pay it to them and then they buy. So when I came home in the flight. I arrived in Singapore. Okay, it just happened that because before I boarding to the plane, right, then I thought of maybe I should buy 4D. Okay, I'm not that kind of buying thing, but I thought, maybe okay, I'll just buy. So online, I just bought. Then when I touched down, right, I just checked. I got the kind of feeling. Yeah. So I just checked. I also strike Sing dollar $500. That was my first dana. That was my first dana that I did because I wasn't a devotee or Buddhist that time. It just like happened that I have a chance to follow my sister in Penang, and then she lead me to meet some monks and started meditation. That was 3 years ago. So I thought, because we always say you must do dana. Dana is very good. That kind of merit. I thought maybe what she said I just follow. I don't really know is it right or is it correct or not. So until I first encounter, it's like, hey, wow, that means it's true. It's like that on the spot, I see the what she preached to me. It's like, you do good, perhaps maybe you may have that kind of merits. So on the spot, I say, I offer ringgit $500, and then now I got back. I say, wow, that maybe is true. That is maybe is true. So I do a sharing with you all. So that's my experience. What was that because of the intention that without anything, I just, when she say offer, I say, okay, I just offer lah. If I have money, I just offer lor. Yeah. Is that true? We must test it and proven, right?
Well, this is the metaphysical territory, so I have no idea. Many factors, can be karma ripening, can be help from guardian devas, especially your Dhamma protectors. They want to lead you to the Dharma, then they might entice you with some of this kind of means. Yeah.
Got that kind like Bhante mentioned about the what? Deva protector or
Yeah,
what?
guardian.
Dharma protector.
Yeah, Dhamma protectors or your guardian protectors. Yeah.
Are we able to see them?
Some people can. Some people can.
Okay, so before that, before I converted to Buddhism, I did dream about in my dream that I saw a monk. Okay, I can't see the face, but it's very bright. That is like where the very bright things are on the head. So we were in at the besides the river, and is the current is very strong. So he told me, are you willing to swim against this stream? So then during that time, I was quite hard in my life also. So in a dream. So I thought, first thing in my mind is like, I do not know how to swim. Seriously, I don't have a swimming skill. I don't know how to swim. Then secondly, because the monk, he mentioned to me, if this is the stream that you go against, right, you will achieve enlightenment. So because I always seek for truth, right, in my life, since young, I missed a chance to to become nun also. So then I told myself, yeah, why not? Yeah, so I trust him. So I swim, and I swam really underwater, and it's very tough. So, but I managed to swim across, and I reached the destination. That was the in my dream. Until 1 or 2 years later, after my tenants, they gave me the two sisters. They gave me the Buddha's all kinds of books, Buddha's teaching of books. The first one is the Ajahn Chah one. So that time is a meditation. I just read, for 2 or 3 years. Yeah, I read a lot about like Four Noble Truths, all these. I just read, and then meditation. So without anyone who taught me, so I also learned to meditate in my room. Yeah, but it's interesting because my experience is when because there's an Ajahn Chah, the books, right? They explain how we meditate to look at the breath or whatever. So I follow, and because you see that can see the blood stream, the blood flow, then I meditate, then I see, wow, interesting. I saw the mind, it really jumped here and there, and it's very fast. So that was my few encounterment without knowing anything before I believe or become a devotee, of Buddhism, something like that. So that was my experience. So is it because of
So
the
before you had the dream, you had no contact with Buddhist teaching?
maybe during primary school that no Sunday, every Sunday my sister they brought us to the Sunday school, the Buddhist
Okay,
one.
all
Yeah,
right, all right.
so the purpose of joining her to go to Sunday school is for the food. Okay, very yummy food. That was my intention. I think it's bad. But I also I take all the exam lah. I completed all the exam, and then my sister. So maybe because of some of the there must something that I have connected with Buddhism. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, so probably in that dream might be, subconsciously, you might be seeking, some Dhamma, yeah? Yeah.
Is it my protector? I can't see.
Maybe, I don't know, yeah. Could be your own subconscious underlying, you have this intention to want to, seek some change, yeah.
Okay, because there's only ones that I saw in my dream, and the rest is during the retreat meditation. I saw those green ghosts, white ghosts, or red ghosts, whatever ghosts. Yeah, no,
Okay.
If I overslept, they also will call me. Hey, chanting. Chanting. Time to chant. So yeah, my sister now wake me up. So it's the time to chant, right? I said, everyone went to the hall already. So I said, wow. So there was a few experience I encountered. I think maybe they want me to follow the path. I don't know, but I have an interest in that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so that shows you have a lot of unseen spiritual friends, unseen spiritual guides. Yeah?
Yeah, maybe. That's my sharing. Sorry, thank you. I've taken a lot of time.
No problem. Interesting share. How about Kim Yong? You have raised your hand.
Yeah. Hi, Bante.
Yeah.
I just want to check with you on the dana thing and the intention. Like it's like there are times, right, when you do dana, right? I mean, it's like if you have it planned out, like okay, you are going for dana today and tomorrow and things like that. So it's like the intention is there of doing dana, right? But what happens if, like, say like if you're in the streets in Thailand and you actually see the monks that goes for bath early in the morning, right? And so happen that you come across one of them, but you just come unprepared, like you have nothing, but you actually have the intention to do the dana. So what I'm trying to ask is like, is the dana meaningful if you you just grab anything that you can see and you do the bath to the monk that just passed by?
Yes, that could be one way. What you can do is you can request the monk to wait for a while. You want to purchase something. Yeah, so the monk will wait for you.
But what happens if the surrounding of things that is available, right, may not be like of relevance? Like maybe you can't find food, but the things that are sold there are like mainly other things other than food. So if you should grab something but with the intention of wanting to do dana, right, is it okay?
Yeah, also, depends on what kind of items. If they are like the daily kind of requisites, I think most of the alms round monastics should be quite willing to accept.
Okay. So it meaning to say it does not have to like specifically be just food,
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Bante.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry, Bante, to butt
Okay.
in. Sorry, Bante.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Upatissa. I think the requisite, maybe Bante, you want to explain more.
Okay, requisites, mainly there are these four classifications, four kinds of requisites. First is these robes. Robes is one, yeah, so like the robes where the monks are wearing. Next is shelter, yeah, the shelter you cannot offer. You need something more mobile. Okay, then the next one is food. Yeah, so food, like you mentioned, if there's no food, then you can buy medicine. So medicine, things like even toiletries are like considered medicine. No? Anything that you can apply on the skin or put in the mouth, like toothpaste, soap, no, all these are considered medicine. So hopefully that answers the question. Okay, Patisa, yeah.
Okay. Well, I just like to mention that okay, we probably should not forget that talking about Dana, we are actually the highest benefactor of Danas, because the Dhammapada verses actually say that there's one verse that says Sabadana Dhamma Danang Jinati. That means the gift of the Dana of the Dhamma is the highest. So so in that sense, I think we are, we benefit from the Buddha's enlightenment. We benefit from the Dhamma that he preaches. We benefit from the Sangha that preserves the eightfold noble truths. And I actually counted out of there are altogether 152 suttas in the Majjhima Nikaya. I counted exactly 76 starts with Ewang Misutang, Ekang Samayang, Bhagawang Sawatiya, Viharati. In other words, the 76, which is exactly 50% of the suttas in Majjhima Nikaya, were being preached at the Anathapindika Sutta, Jetavana in Anathapindika Spa. And including the Mangala Sutta that we are going through now. So if Ananda Pindika, if not for Ananda Pindika's dana of the financial donation, I think the Majjhima Nikaya will be reduced to so thin, and chances are that I probably won't be I won't be on the path at all.
Yep. Okay. Thank you so much for the information. So like a donation of land and donation of monasteries, yeah? So that is offering of one of the other kind of requisite. So that's for the richer people.
And we are benefiting, right now here, 2,600 years later, we are still benefiting from them.
Okay, that's right. So without like a headquarters, then it's hard to propagate the teachings. So it's important to like have residence. Okay, so with regard to the gift of truth is the highest gift. We'll talk more on that in the mid portion of the Mangala Sutta. Eh? So there's some of the verses talking about going to monks for advice, listening to the Dhamma at proper times, and so on. Okay. Anyone else?
One day, I'd like to ask you, let's say when we make offerings on the altar to the Buddha at home, besides candles, flowers, yeah, or evergreens, is it necessary to offer incense?
Again, up to individual, there's no fixed kind of protocol or kind of ritual for these offerings. Of course, along the way, people develop all these rituals. So like incense would probably mean to remind oneself the fragrance of this body, speech, and mind.
Because so far, when I visit 𝙈𝙪𝙩𝙩𝙖, I haven't seen offering
Yeah.
incense. Yeah.
We used to have like a joystick holder, and due to COVID regulation, they removed the whole entire joystick holder. Yeah.
Because for myself, I rarely offer incense nowadays because I think I developed some sensitivity to smoke. So I stopped offering incense, but I still like I use tea lights.
Yeah, that's fine because there's no, it's not like compulsory, to offer
It's not compulsory,
incense, right? And yeah, all this, yeah, not
And
compulsory.
I was asking about only offering of fruits on the table, right? My Dhamma teacher was saying, you see, other than that, like water you can offer, fruits you can offer, but don't offer things like food or whatever.
A lot of them has to do with culture also. Some people do offer food. Of course, it has to do with the intention. What's the intention of offering all those items? If the intention or understanding is not correct, and whatever you offer may be perverted. Like let's say offering of water, if the more orthodox reason is for clarity, for example. That if some people, if they do not have right understanding, they think offer water because Buddha thirsty. The Buddha need to drink water. Yeah? So it depends on the intentions, not much on the external ritual. Yeah.
But what we offer on the table, is it more like symbolic or?
Yeah, it's a symbolic manifestation of your intention.
Because in the past, I'm very used to offering rice, making the rice balls and put it into the cups to offer to the Buddha. So when now I switch over to Theravada, I already stopped doing all this. But that day, I offered a glutinous rice ball, which my teacher said, we don't do that. He said the Buddha is not going to eat your glutinous rice balls. So I think going forward, I will not do that anymore.
Yeah, again, very much depend on the intention. Yeah.
Because for Theravada, you all don't offer rice, such things like rice, right?
Some of the Thai monks, especially senior monks, or even the last time 𝙈𝙪𝙩𝙩𝙗, the vice abbot, used to offer food to the Buddha. Yeah, he used to offer, but there's a different intention, not for the Buddha to eat. No, it's a different meaning.
Because I know the Mahayana side, which I learned from my neighbors who are Mahayana. They had the practice of because it's that 𝙬𝙬 法师 who taught them, like every meal after they have eaten, whatever is balanced inside the bowl, they throw it on the ground for those outside unseen beings to consume. But I never heard of it in Theravada teaching.
In the Buddha's time, yes. If if our alms bowl have leftover food, or if the monks cannot finish the food, let's say there's too much food in the bowl, then cannot finish, then whatever we want to distribute, we already distribute. Or even let's say you're living alone and there's excess food, you cannot finish, and this food we cannot keep for the next day, like certain food is considered one-day meal, so we are supposed to throw it into the forest and let the animals eat it.
Here in Singapore, we are all living in flats now.
Yeah.
We cannot afford to do this sort of thing, throwing things out of the flats.
Yeah.
We're getting into trouble.
Yeah, so yes, the context is in the forest and the monastic alms bowl. So, but for your layperson, you don't have the precept to not store food. Yeah, so you can keep as long as you want. You can put in the fridge or microwave later on, that kind of stuff. But for monks, you can't do it.
I don't like to keep food overnight. I usually would prefer any cooked food that I cook is to be consumed within the day. That would be better. Yeah. Thanks, Bante.
Okay, no problem. Okay, Karina, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Bante, I'm still new to Buddhism. So, if the water, offering the water is symbolized as a purity, then how about the food?
Okay, again, that very much depends on individual intention. You can come up with any positive reason or anything that's close to your heart. It might mean provide, you aspire that you may have more energy in your practice. So food can be one example, a fuel, a nutriment. So that is one way to look at it.
Okay. So the food, it can be in the intention is like perhaps that we could have the energy when we practice the Buddhism or Dhamma or whatever lah. So we can just offer the food on the altar. Because I see my parents, because they are Taoism. So but at home also have a Buddha statue.
Yeah.
My house also have. But it's like when my mom, I think it's a culture of practice, I do not know. Because they put the fruits, I cannot understand. Even until now, I also don't understand.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so if let's say they are offering to deities or spirits, then it's a totally different thing. So some spirits or some deities in the lower realm, they may feed on the food being offered because you offer to them. So they will oblige, they might come down to partake the meal. So might be a different thing altogether.
Okay. So okay. So this is besides the physical food. So what if in the dream I saw someone who asked me for something, he cannot talk, but he just like that, the hand. So I know that he wants something, but I do not know. First question I asked is that, who are you? What do you want? I don't have. Yeah. Is it the merits that he's asking for?
Yeah, so for the Buddhist way is we dedicate merits to the unseen being. Yeah, so if we perform any good, can be a food offering all the way to meditation or chanting, then we think of them. We mentally ask them to rejoice.
Oh, understand. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Anyone else? Today's Q&A very long.
Is it okay to offer food or not? Because just now, like what you say, we offer, then those beings from the other realms come and partake the offerings.
Yeah, okay, so it's got to do with your intention. So if your intention is to invite those spirits to partake the meal, then those unseen beings will come and partake the meal. But if it's, you offer to the altar or like for some Chinese practices like the Qingming, people offer to the ancestors, and because it's like more like a family kind of meal, then after the sort of ancestors sort of partake the meal, then it's shared among the living, something like that. So if let's say your intention is to offer to the Buddha or to an altar, to a divine image, the one that I observe, some of the Thai monks, they do it in very small bowls. They don't offer like huge bowls and huge plates full of food, because it's a bit wasting of the food. So it's more like symbolic.
Just a very small one.
Yeah, correct.
Like the size of a small rice ball.
Up to you. It's up to you. Yeah. It's up to you. Yeah. It's a symbolic thing, because in the end, all this is impermanent. The food will go bad.
Yeah,
you offer flour, the flour you also wilter. You offer water, the water also must change. If not, mosquito will grow.
Every day we have to change the water in the cup, and also I change the water in the vase. All these are the daily things that you have to tidy up the altar if you want to have the altar. So actually it's okay to offer the food, but symbolically we just offer something small.
Yeah, it's got to do with your intention. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I have to switch over now, because like this year I also don't know what am I doing, because it's the very first year I'm practicing the Theravada way of celebrating a new year, because actually all the years through I always will buy one kakamuji to offer the Japanese New Year cake. Yeah, and fruits of course. But this year no, I didn't do that anymore. And I was wondering whether Chinese New Year I'm going to buy the Chinese New Year cake and offer. After hearing what my Dhamma teacher said, the Buddha is not going to eat your cake.
And that very much is true. Yeah, the Buddha is not going to eat.
Yeah, I think I'll probably just offer one fruit and the water enough. Yeah, I think don't need to overdo things now. Thanks, Bante.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, so it's 2 weeks worth of questions. Okay, anyone else? Okay, if there's no further questions, then we go for a 5-minute break. See you back at now it's 9:36 on my clock, 9:41 for the short guided meditation session. Okay, see you all later. Okay, only few people on standby. It's the rest back. Yeah, assume everyone is back. Okay, then we can begin. Find a comfortable sitting position and make sure your back is upright and the rest of your body relaxed. Okay, due to the shorter time, then we're going to cut off or trim off some of the meditation. So we're just going to start off with feeling the sensations of the body. Yeah, we're going to start wishing all the sensations in the body well and happy. So whatever we feel, we can classify them into the 4 elements. So the earth element represents any hard and soft sensations. Fire is hot and cold. Wind, any fast and slow movements. And water, moist or dry. So we start to feel the entire body. Any kind of sensation we detect, we wish it well and happy. No need to purposely create the sensation. Let it naturally manifest by itself. Whatever you can detect, you just wish it well and happy. No need to hold on to it, no need to cling, no need to push it away. So this being the new year, or the first lesson of the new year, then we basically learn how to accept all kinds of stimuli, all kinds of situations. Learn to make friends, learn how to make peace with all this contact. So there are 2 aspects. The first aspect is the real-time evidence. Every time a new sensation appears, so that is the observable evidence. And the second aspect is the right reflection. So the right reflection would be right now loving kindness. You wish it well and happy. And the wrong reflection would be either greed or hatred. Any sensation you don't like, you want to push it away, you want to destroy it. Any sensation you like, and you want to hold on to it forever. This first lesson, we kickstart with this right intention and right effort. So basically every new contact or new observable contact, then you can wish them well and happy. And once you are quite calmed down with this loving kindness, quite accepting all these various formations, and we can take note this is loving kindness, a restricted form of loving kindness within the confines of the body. So next we can extend the mind. We wish all beings well and happy. We want to cultivate a boundless loving kindness. So there's no need to push your attention. Just let it extend naturally by itself. No need to purposely visualize anything, because we have no idea how all sentient beings look like. All the various species of insects, all the animals, or unseen beings, we have no idea. So we just direct the attention, or let the attention extend naturally, and it will naturally encompass all the sentient beings along its way. So however far it extends, then that will be your universe. And within that field of attention, whatever sensation you feel, doesn't matter near or far, you just wish it well and happy, same thing. New sensation appear, well and happy, new sensation appear, well and happy. So these merit or these karmas are very fast. Every time a new contact, you wish you well and happy, you are generating this merit. But if you leave it idle, let the mind daydream, and you are producing another kind of unskillful kind of karma. The more loving kindness you generate, the calmer the mind you should get. And to sustain this peace, you need to keep continuing generating loving kindness for every sensation. It is a bit like maintaining a fire of the firewood or a fireplace, or like your barbecue. You want to maintain the fire, you need to watch over the flame, keep adding the fuel, then you can keep the fire burning. Once you stop that, you just stay with the fire only, and then the fire will die out. So if you want to go deeper or maintain this peace or this concentration, you need to keep applying this right thought and right effort. So from this, we can actually understand there's a difference between calming the mind and not doing anything, and there's a difference. Some people think to have a calm mind, you need to have no thinking, which is not true. You need to deliberately think, but it's a skillful thinking. Skillful thinking will lead to a calm mind. So that is in line with the Four Noble Truths. Once you attempt to not think by doing nothing, then you're basically unknowingly clinging. And the mind will drift away to all the story makings of the mind. And that's what we do before we sleep. We do nothing. So meditation is different from sleeping. Okay, and to add some wisdom or insight, then we can contemplate on impermanence. So all these sensations, all beings, all dharmas go through birth and death, arising and passing. So you just keep observing the here and now, real-time observation, these sensations, how they appear, how they arise, and how they pass away all the time. So you need to observe and also mentally remind yourself this is impermanent. A bit like a mantra, you keep repeating. So the more you think of impermanence, the more detachment. So it's a bit like filtration. So the mind will get finer and finer, or gets more refined. And no matter how still or how nothing you may want to feel it, also mindful of impermanence. So this process of detachment is going against the stream of desire. So stream of desire is greed and hatred, and going against the stream is this reflection on impermanence. So this journey of swimming across to the other shore is a long journey. It's a big ocean, and the currents are going against you all the time. And you need effort to row across to the other shore. Okay, and before we move on to the next sublime state, this is the cultivation of loving kindness with both concentration and insight. So the next sublime state is compassion. So you wish all beings, may they be free from suffering. So in this world today, lots of people face crisis, and sometimes we may overreach and overextend, drain ourselves. So for meditation, we learn to recharge the mind, try not to create too much dramas or images. What we're doing is just observe again, here and now sensations. Every time new sensation arises, may it be free from suffering. New sensation arise, free from suffering. And when the mind gets calmer, and if you do it correctly, you should have a more pleasant kind of emotion, pleasant kind of compassion, not sorrowful or sad kind of compassion. Okay, and before we conclude the session due to time constraint. Same gentle reminder from the Karaniya Metta Sutta. As long as we maintain this boundless, any of the sublime states, loving kindness or compassion, appreciative joy or equanimity, be it standing, sitting, walking, lying down, in all your actions, then that would be the highest practice. Okay, so with that in mind, we can gently open our eyes. Okay, any problems or questions from anyone here? Okay, if not, then we can do the dedication. Okay, so we do the dedication chanting. Akasata Bhumata Devanaga Mahitika Punyang Tang Anumoditva Chirang Rakantu Loka Sasanang Etavata Cha Amhi Sapada Punya Sapadang Sabe Deva Sabe Bhuta Sabe Sata Anumodantu Sabha Sabati Siddhya. And transference of merits to departed. Idang me nyatinang hotu sugita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyatinang hotu sugita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyatinang hotu sugita hontu nyatayo. And aspiration. Imina punya kamena mami baba samagamo. Satang samagamo hotu yavani bana patiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, that's the end. Any announcements from Terence? No? You want to announce the special session?
Okay. Like they said, the specials. This year we will be starting something new. Since it's very interactive and you have personal questions, maybe at the end of every month, starting in March, we'll have a private session where the session is not broadcasted through Facebook. It's only in Zoom. Then we have personal interview with Bhante.
Yeah, because some people maybe paise, they don't dare to share or say anything because broadcasted to public. Then you can take use of this opportunity, to ask during that session, or those with my personal contact can ask anytime also actually. Yeah. Okay, so that's it, and good night. Yeah.
Thanks, Bhante.
Okay.
Sadhu.
Good night,
Thank you,
everyone.
Bhante.
Sadhu.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you,
Good
Bhante.
night.
Good night.
Thank you, Bhante.